Pardon? Well, good morning, everyone. I'm all of a sudden feeling a little short here. There's two fellows flanking me. Welcome to Spruce Lodge and to the Spruce Lodge campus of care. On behalf of the Spruce Lodge board and staff, several of whom are here today, it's with great pleasure that I extend my warm greetings to all in attendance. I'm Peter Bolland. I'm the Executive Director of the Spruce Lodge campus of care and Administrator of Spruce Lodge Long-Term Care. Our campus includes a continuum of housing options for seniors and adults with disabilities, including affordable social housing, nonprofit life lease housing, and of course the flagship of our campus, the Spruce Lodge Long-Term Care. The campus is home to more than 350 older adults, and we employ more than 265 dedicated staff. Our campus also includes a warm water therapy pool, a seniors active living center that are accessible not only to the campus residents, but also to the broader community. We also lease space to a couple additional community service partners who operate from the campus to deliver programs and services for seniors across our community. I extend a special welcome to the Minister of Long-Term Care, the Honourable Stan Cho, and our respected local member of Ontario Provincial Parliament for Perth Wellington, Mr. Matthew Ray, Dr. Tina Ma from the Research Institute for Aging, and Dr. Lisa Walsh from the Avon-Maitland District School Board. We're truly honoured by your presence here today. Before I invite the Minister to the podium, I'd like to share a little of our home's partnership with the Avon-Maitland District School Board, which stands as a shining example of the benefits that true collaboration brings to all parties involved. To date, we've hosted 2 PSW sessions with 52 graduates in the region, and we're currently hosting our 3rd PSW session with 30 additional graduates in the coming months. Because of innovative solutions, we are already feeling the difference. And on the heels of several challenging pandemic years, we're confident that we're finally on the road to recovery. I commend the ministry for their commitment to investing in the future of healthcare and eagerly anticipate a brighter tomorrow for long-term care. Thank you once again for giving Spruce Lodge the opportunity to host this significant announcement. I'd now like to invite the Minister of Long-Term Care, Mr. Stan Cho, to make an announcement.
Well, thank you very much, Peter, for that kind introduction, and for all of you for being here this morning. You know, I saw Peter, 4 years ago now, in a pre-budget consultation in Stratford, and I remember he was advocating for Spruce Lodge back then, along with Mayor Ritzma, who's here, and I want to thank you all for your efforts. It's clearly led to some results, and you know, I'll get to this guy in a second. He deserves a lot of credit, but to Matt Ray as well. Let me start by thanking the staff, and I see a number of you are here today at Spruce Lodge for being not just gracious hosts, but most importantly for the amazing work you do here every single day for our residents. I also want to acknowledge the Ontario Centres for Learning, Research and Innovation in Long-Term Care, as well as the Ontario Association of Adult and Continuing Education School Board Administrators. Also in attendance are the Long-Term Care Associations, OLTCA, and Advantage Ontario, certainly no strangers to me, making sure that we take steps to creating a better environment for our wonderful residents here. You know, before I get to the bulk of the announcement, I also want to acknowledge our AV team, Fernanda and team, who wake up at like 4:30 in the morning to make sure they get ahead of these announcements. You know, yesterday in Toronto, we were at an announcement for 15 minutes, and when we were done, it was like, okay, time to pack up. There are hours of work that go into before and after each of these announcements, so I want to thank you for the tireless work that you do. Dimitri, thank you very much. And I also want to apologize to them because they're about to hear a story that I've told for the 32nd or 33rd time. I'm going to tell it anyway because it's an important story. But, you know, it's been, 5.5 months since the Premier called me and gave me this great honor of serving as Ontario's Minister of Long-Term Care. And I'll never forget the first phone call I made. And it was to my mother. And my parents are seniors now, and my mom is wonderful. For those of you who've met her, she was very proud and said, work hard. Seniors, you know, built this country. You have to make sure you take care of them. She goes, hang on, I'm gonna pass over the phone to your dad. And my dad picked up the phone, heard the news, paused for a second, and he said, you work for me now. So I gently reminded him he works for my mom. But that phone call has never left sort of my thoughts, because he's absolutely right. I do work for him. I work for all of our seniors in this great province, and it truly shapes what we do at the Ministry of Long-Term Care, because we are trying to improve long-term care. We're building that plan on 4 pillars. Just going through them very quickly. First one is connecting seniors with faster, more convenient access to the services they need. The second is improving staffing in long-term care. The third is driving accountability through better transparency, building modern, safe, comfortable long-term care homes for our seniors. And last, of course, is making sure that we continue to invest in that long-term care environment to create homes. Today's announcement falls under that second pillar of improving staffing and care. So I am pleased to announce that the Ontario government is investing more than $100 million into 2 programs that will provide training for more than 32,000 PSW and nursing students over the next 3 years. Specifically, we're investing $94.5 million to extend the Preceptor Resource and Education Program for Long-Term Care, also known as PrEP LTC, for 3 years, and we're doubling the number of living classrooms with an investment of nearly $11 million over 3 years. Now, PrEP LTC supports clinical placements for nursing and PSW students in long-term care homes, and clinical placements are key to nursing and PSW education. We've had some good metrics come back. They provide students with hands-on experience under the supervision of preceptors who are experienced staff who are trained for that role. Since its launch a few years ago in 2021-22, the program has already helped 500 homes provide clinical placements for 17,340 nursing and PSW students. And now, yes, please feel free to applaud for that. That's great. And now with the new investment, the program aims to train more than 3,000 new preceptors and support 31,000 new clinical placements by 2026, 2027. The living classroom programs help long-term care homes grow their staff by training PSWs on-site in local long-term care homes. And unlike traditional PSW training programs, where students start with theoretical education and move on to clinical placements, living classrooms are used to deliver classroom instruction in the home, alternating between in-class learning and applying what they learn as they work with residents within the home. And you can see what kind of value that would provide, not just to residents, but of course in the training process. This is especially beneficial to rural, remote and northern regions, as students can train without having to leave their communities. And with this investment, the program will double the number of living classrooms, as I said, from 20 to 40, which will support the training of up to 1,300 new PSWs by 2026. Now, job's not done. These investments are part of a plan for a pipeline to train talent and reinforcement and recruit thousands, tens of thousands of frontline healthcare workers into the system. Let me remind everyone, we are building 58,000 new and redeveloped homes in this province. And I want to get away from calling them beds, right? Because beds are furniture, and to make a home, more than a building, you need the wonderful staff that I'm looking at right now. You need the team that makes it a home for our seniors. And this preceptor program is going to be the essence of that, giving growth to existing long-term care staff and the opportunity for career development and growth. Now, with these living classrooms, long-term care homes can start building relationships with the students and prepare them to work in that home from the very first day. And both programs create a hands-on learning opportunity for students to enable them to build relationships with residents, colleagues, and mentors as they learn. Everybody wins. Students, long-term care homes, and most importantly, the residents that they serve. I'll remind everyone what my mom told me. Seniors built this country, they built our communities, they took care of us. It is our turn to take care of them. That is what we're doing here today. So I think that's enough for me, but I do want to pass the mic to somebody who, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't spoken to in a little while because we were equally heartbroken when Shohei Ohtani didn't come to the Toronto Blue Jays. But I'll say this, the ray of hope shines brightly in Stratford, somebody who was pivotal in making sure this investment came. and a tireless advocate for the area, MPP Matt Ray.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Stan, for that very warm introduction. Since he brought up his mother, I've had the pleasure of meeting her, and I think we all work for her, Stan, in the end. I want to thank everyone for being here this morning for this important announcement. Obviously, I want to thank my good friend and colleague, the Honourable Stan Cho, the Minister of Long-Term Care, for joining us this morning in beautiful Stratford. Luckily, there was no snow today. That's always a concern this time of year, traveling in our beautiful part of the province. I also want to recognize and thank Peter and Angela and the rest of their team and staff at Spruce Lodge for hosting us this morning and for all the important work and care that you provide to our seniors. Minister Cho often emphasizes the profound impact our seniors have had on shaping our lives and our communities. He often reminds us that they took care of us, and now we have a moral imperative to reciprocate that care. And I couldn't agree more with the Minister. Our Premier, our Minister, and our entire provincial government is focused on building more long-term care homes. Over 900 beds right here in Perth, Wellington. Our dedication doesn't stop there. We're also ensuring that we have the healthcare human resources to care for our seniors who live in these homes. And as the Minister mentioned, these are homes, they're not furniture, and we're focused on that. One of our key initiatives involves extending our reach of our training programs to benefit long-term care homes across Ontario. Right here in Stratford, we're making sure that students receive hands-on training, preparing them to meet the unique needs of our senior population. Today's announcement by Minister Cho extended the Participatory Resource and Education Program and expanded the living classrooms will benefit our local long-term care providers. And our government will continue to train the next generation of healthcare workers. And these programs are only successful because of the community partnerships we have locally. And some of those individuals are here today behind me. And I will now turn it over to Dr. Ma to share about how we're working together to continue to train the next generation of healthcare workers. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here for this announcement, and thank you to Minister Cho for inviting us, and thank you very much to the Spruce Lodge for hosting us, because I know this is probably taking some time away from the core of what you do is to support those who live in Spruce Lodge. So thank you for having us here. The RIA is pleased to see this funding announced and the expansion of 2 programs that Minister Ho has, I'm not used to this teleprompter. I should probably just look at my notes. Sorry, just to get back to it. I think to speak from the heart, I think this investment is really one of those opportunities where the coalescing of the very unfortunate episode of the pandemic, I think the retirement of many folks due to the change in our demographic, I think the demands and the complexity of what is happening in our health system is really timely that we are able to be here today and hear about this announcement. So we are now very pleased to see this extension of this highly successful preceptor resource and education program in long-term care, PrEP LTC, and this will continue for an additional 3 years. And we will conduct and carry out this program with our partners, Briere Research Institute for Aging and Baycrest Academy for Research and Education. The PrEP LTC has made valuable contributions to the sector, helping more than 19,000 students gain much needed skills through supported clinical programs in 85% of Ontario's long-term care homes. So I'm really pleased to know that ALTCA, the OLTCA and Advantage are here today to join in the celebration of that success. Students attribute their desire to build careers in long-term care to participate in their participation in LTC. And I will just make mention that the setting of spread of PrEP LTC across the province has been phenomenal, where there's been great uptake and great interest of those homes to take on those programs. And really, that's the success, is the opportunity for those students to learn in those settings. We're also very excited to be launching the Living Classroom program in collaboration with the Ontario Association of Adult and Continuing Education School Board Administrators. So I'm glad to see Paul here. The Living Classroom is an innovative Ontario-made learning program that provides an immersive educational opportunity for personal support workers. And just to emphasize that, yes, it's in the setting of the home, and I think that we are all respectful and look to our elders as having created this opportunity and the richness and the prosperity and the opportunity to be living as we do. But I think also to emphasize that they continue to actually teach us and give us lessons in life. And so that living classroom, they're embedded and participate in that learning opportunity. So if someone's living in the home, there is opportunity, and they do take advantage of it, the partnership, to bring those residents and be part of the education. So for example, if there's a resident who is living with Parkinson's, they have an opportunity to come right down into that classroom and have a conversation with those students to learn right beside them and say, this is what it's like for me living with Parkinson's, and by the way, this is what it's like when a personal support worker comes into my room and I haven't yet met them, and now we're going to do self-care. So that compassionate care, that understanding, that opportunity to be in the living classroom setting, that is the divide and the difference, I suppose, and the enhancement of that learning opportunity in that setting. So, as Minister Cho has indicated, we'll double the number of living classrooms, making 40 classrooms available across the province. The number of graduates will double. The expansion of the program will benefit the recruitment and retention of personal support workers in the sector and build the highly skilled workforce that we are all looking for and older adults are all looking for as well. The other aspect that perhaps we haven't touched on is the opportunity for experienced people who are actually working in the homes, that they also get to participate and share their wisdom and their experience and their understanding of working in a home and share that right with the people who are coming in. And sometimes that is a barrier, understanding how a home works, how the flow of the care provision, as well as the social context. There's a lot of activities, and I know that I have seen plenty of examples of that here in this home, where there's recreation, there is social connections, there's activities. So with that, I'll just close on behalf of the RAA. Thank you, Minister Cho, for this opportunity to grow these successful initiatives with our partners and to positively impact the lives of those who live and work in long-term care. So now I invite Dr. Lisa Walsh to speak on behalf of the Avon-Maitland District School Board.
Good morning, everyone. It's my distinct pleasure to be here with all these esteemed guests this morning for this big announcement. I'm pleased to be here on behalf of the Avon-Maitland District School Board. Over the last 2 years, thanks to the funding provided by our Ontario government, our Centres for Employment and Learning have offered the PSW Living Classrooms program free of charge to Huron and Perth County adult learners. This on-the-job training program not only enables job seekers a practical option for pursuing this invaluable career, but it also fills the gap in the labor market in our area and in the province that we've all been experiencing. The partnerships that we have established with local long-term care homes have enabled our program graduates excellent hands-on practical learning in their own community and resulted in full-time employment opportunities upon graduation, and that's fantastic. This continued investment by the Ministry of Long-Term Care allows us to continue offering this program for no cost, and this really matters. It makes a difference for those interested in this career path and is an attractive incentive for anyone who could be considering this career. I applaud this announcement, and I look forward to helping shape the futures of learners and ensuring that long-term care residents receive the highest quality of care. Thank you very much, everyone.
So I think there's no media, so that's the best announcement ever then, in that case. Is there, oh, right here. Okay, so I'll be happy to take questions. Are we doing them at the podium or afterwards? We're doing it afterwards. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.